It's a day that we've all been waiting for. MLS Next Playoffs has finally come. We're waiting to see who is going to be crowned champion. With all of the amazing play that has happened throughout the course of the week, it all comes down to this.
The stage is set for Championship Sunday in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The MLS Next Cup playoffs have reached its final chapter, and it's a showcase of South Florida soccer. Inter Miami and Weston FC, two academies separated by 25 miles of highway, yet joined together by alums who have worn both crests and a desire to be the one lifting a trophy today. Just moments ago in the U19s, it was LA Galaxy taking a bow in front of their friends and family and supporters. U19 champions, a dominant run throughout their MLS Next Cup playoff run. They take down Cedar Stars Bergen 3-1, lifting the trophy and starting the celebrations that'll take them all the way back to California. The bracket has led us here. A number of close calls for both Miami and Weston. The Herons had to survive in PK 6-5 on Friday after giving up a stoppage time goal. Weston was down to their final minutes in the very first round before tying the game in the 82nd minute. Well, it's been a pleasure all week long to be alongside former MLS defender Jaleel Anababa. I'm AJ Ricketts. I can't hide it. It's a steamy setting here in Nashville this week, and the stakes are high as well. You were in a lot of playoff postseason scenarios in your career, whether at Carolina in the College Cup or the MLS playoffs. What do you think's going through these U17 players' minds? What's critical to come out on top today?
What they should be thinking about is to trust in the process. Do what you did to get you here, and then compete like all hell. The rest will take care of itself, and when you get down to the final stages, if it's close in the match, you want to be the hero. Who is it going to be? Because this is the arena and the space where champions turn into historical figures in MLS Next.
All going to happen right here, the Siegel Complex. Let's take a look at the starting 11. It's a 4-3-3 for Inter Miami. Daniel Bencourt up front leads the way.
Oh yeah, he leads the way, but it's all for me going to be about what they do in the collective. And what you need in a championship setup is your goalkeeper to come up big. Look for Simon to continue on his good form throughout the course of this tournament.
For Weston FC, forwards David Romero and Alessandro Claremont pack a punch up front this season.
Yes, they do, and they have been scoring goals. They've been facilitating the attack throughout the course of this year. But for me, I'm looking at Ayala. He is the leader in the back three there. If he holds it down in front of Villegas, they have a very good chance to leave victorious.
The South Florida derby, if you will, today. Less than 30 miles separate these two clubs who have built such a reputation in the South Florida area. Obviously a longer history for Weston FC. Inter Miami getting underway as a club just 5 short years ago. They've accomplished a lot. We'll certainly talk much more about it over the course of this broadcast. Benjamin Kremoski stands out as the alum of both of these clubs. His picture, his flag, a banner of him hangs outside this field here all week at the Siegel Complex. A representation, a clear example for both of them of what these pathways for either side can lead to.
Correct. He's the epitome of the fact that if you ball out, play at the highest level in tournaments like the playoffs in the MLS Next setup, you can be remembered for years to come, whether it's a banner in these facilities, whether it's getting a first-team contract, or whether it's representing your national team. Benjamin Kremoski has represented these two sides that are going to face off today. He is just an example of what dreams can be achieved through this setup and pathway.
Great to have you with us once more. AJ Ricketts, Jaleel Anababa, the U17 championship match Inter Miami and Weston FC. Weston will start off with possession here in the white kits, going from right to left. What a fixture this is to finish off our week-long celebration of soccer here in Murfreesboro. The culmination of a season that started way back in September. And to be quite honest, Jaleel, the playoff runs as we get underway, the playoff journeys for both of these sides, they haven't been dominant by any means in nature, but both of them have found ways to win, whether it's late goals or finding a way in penalties.
Survive and advance. When you get to the final, nobody asks you how you get there. All they want to know is if you win to hoist the trophy, and that's what both of these sides are very focused on here today, AJ.
These two teams, of course, always match up over the course of a season in league play. And the last time they met in April, it was a 1-0 win for Weston. Alessandro Claremont scored in the 65th minute. Noah Gassan was sent off in the 90th. There were 8 cards in that match. These are two clubs. They can be collaborative in nature, and we'll talk more about that. Of course, the shared players, coaches too as well over the years. Both want to come out on top here today, but that was a physical match in that one. 8 cards, 3 for Inter Miami, 5 for Weston. Will be interesting to see the physicality over the course of this one today here in the U17s. Inter Miami in the box for the first time, probing. Loose ball went to the top of the box, but a foul on the pink and black will go the other way.
And one thing I can guarantee you is that there will be no collaboration between black and white down on their pitch as far as jerseys are concerned. What each team is looking to do is to make sure that they are competitive in the early stages, so you win that psychological battle and tilt the momentum of the game into your favor early on. So look for the early stages to be very competitive, cagey at best, but if you can hit the back of the net early, you can push the tides in your favor to get closer and closer to that championship.
You talk about being on this stage before, Jaleel, and Inter Miami and Weston, they both won one single title at the MLS NEXT Cup. For Miami, that came in 2022 at the U15 level, but this is one of the interesting storylines that brings these two together. As they get into the corner here, nice deflected chance there off the attempted cross. Head coach for Weston FC, Chris Nurse. He was the head coach back in 2021. On the other side for Weston FC, now the Inter Miami head man, he was the coach of those U16s and players like Benjamin Kramaski, who won the title back in 2021.
Yeah, Chris Nurse deserves his flowers, getting his side to the final in Inter Miami yet again. And when you flip it back, in terms of the historical pages, he is the only coach in the MLS Next setup to win the finals with a team that is a non-MLS academy. So when you're talking about a top manager that is giving every single thing that he can in terms of his experience, his playing career, knowledge, and wisdom, shadowing that all on the youth in the Miami area, there's no one better than Chris Nurse. So now he's going to look to go against his former side in Weston and get the trophy against them.
Played professionally for 15+ years across England, North America, Puerto Rico, Canada, before starting his coaching journey in the UK. We're on Nurse in just a moment. Free kick here, Marco Cantalapiera to take this after Claremont drew the foul. Head official breaking up some jostling before they send the set piece in. Cantalapiera, third most goals on this squad in the regular season. He'll take this towards goal. Tried to surprise Marco Simeon in nets, but ripped it wide left.
Yeah, I don't mind that though. Going for the element of surprise there. Trying to make sure that Simeon is paying attention and he's up for the challenge there, where it was clear that all the Weston players were pushed toward that far post waiting for the service.
Inter Miami's journey to the championship match started with a 1-0 win against Cedar Stars Monmouth. Took down their sister program Cedar Stars Bergen right after that, 2-1. A 1-0 win against Baltimore Armor. And then a great match against Real Colorado in the semis, 2-2 in that one. And coming out on top of penalties. 6'5". Entered the tournament with good momentum, had won 7 of 8 entering the MLS Next Cup playoffs. Great challenge there in midfield. Weston supporters like it, and then a foul, though, ends that sequence. Here Miami will have possession.
And now you can see the chippy nature is permeating into the stands as well. The younger age groups of the Miami Academy are still here. They're rooting for their fellow Academy members down there on the pitch, as are the younger ages of Weston FC. So what I love about this MLS Next setup and these tournaments, AJ, is that all organizations show out for their teams and create a ruckus vibe, which is just so awesome to see. When goals hit the back of the net, everybody turns up.
Well done to stay on his feet by Lucas Cortez. Yeah, they got the Inter Miami U14s right in front of us. They're all fired up. That's out of play for a Miami throw. Lucas Cortez with his first touches in the box. He scored on a volley in the semis against Real Colorado. He's a former Weston FC player himself, going up against his former side. Both coach and a number of players have that storyline to them today.
Yeah, Cortez, a highly skilled player, can wiggle free like we saw there, but
this ripped from the parking lot. Continued its journey until it hit the box. It's Inter Miami's first shot.
It won't be easy for any of the Inter Miami players to just knife their way through on a dribble through this Weston defense. They'll get compact, get numbers in front of the ball, make sure that they're at least the width of the boxes so that you can't just go straight through them.
Back four for Inter Miami today. Alex Ricchetti, Quinton John, Kai McLean, Jeremy Ortella. They've been fabulous over the course of this playoff run. Defense has been the strength for the Miami side. The nervy moments in the semifinal. They thought they had wrapped up a 2-1 win. Real Colorado had other things to say, and that stoppage time goal was nearly the sequence that knocked Inter Miami off this playoff run. But clinical and PKs, and now the chance to take on Weston FC, who have been rolling through the tournament themselves. 1-1 started things off against Boston Bolts. 1 in penalties. That was the game they scored in the 82nd minute. Nearly a handball there, no call.
Yeah, Shala got lucky there. That was a clear handball. The referee gave him a pass.
Following that, 3-1 win against Albion SC San Diego. 1-0 over St. Louis Scott Gallagher. That's dealt with by Miami center back. And then winning in penalties in the semis against Sacramento Republic after a scoreless draw. Since the start of April for Weston, they're 14-3. 1-4 of 5 entering this tournament. They'll get a throw here off of the blocked cross. But carrying confidence, knowing that they can beat this Inter Miami squad. They've done it before. Weston continue to try to send service into the box. Miami center backs have been up to task early here in the first 8+ minutes. That is a foul, though, and another free kick for Weston.
A little bit overzealous in the challenge there from Betancourt, but what I like from Weston is that when they lose the ball or they're out of possession in any fashion, they have numbers around it to be able to swarm, win the ball back again in the attacking third, and go wave after wave. That is going to push Inter Miami back on their heels and shows Miami from a psychological standpoint, like we talked about earlier, that they are here, they are going to make this game very difficult for you. And in this sweltering heat, those who win the psychological battles, AJ, are the teams that typically win the finals.
Cantalapiera still needing a moment to get settled here on the far side. Positive start for Weston. Enter with the 2-man wall here. Cantalapiera went for goal last time. This time he'll look to distribute around the far post. Punched away by Simeon. And that will be a foul on Weston, ending the sequence.
From a referee standpoint, I like how this game is being managed early on, AJ, just to stay on top of it, having words with players, making sure that they understand where the lines are instead of brandishing cards early, and of course protecting the goalkeeper. Simeone does a very good job here to come out aggressively, get two big paws on it to punch it away, but since there's contact toward his midsection, the call is made, and I think that is correct because you have to protect your goalkeeper in his or her area.
Significant assignments for the referees here today as well. They're being evaluated and analyzed over the course of this tournament as well.
Of course, when you talk about MLS Next, it's not just the land of opportunity for players, it's land of opportunity for referees, coaches.
Your side here, Rickety. Another Inter Miami foul. Weston FC, guided by Mirko Gubellini, former Serie B striker in Italy with Triestina. I'm bringing that European pedigree to South Florida's youth scene. Scored nearly 60 goals in his time in Italian professional soccer. And transitioned to coaching in AC Milan's youth sector and even some indoor soccer here in the U.S. Now doing a fantastic job with Weston's program. Just one shot apiece for either side here through the first 11 minutes. The fielder both still working into early rhythms here. Plenty of familiarity, of course, as well. It's never a rarity for one team's former players to end up with the other side for a multitude of reasons over the course of their youth careers.
And these two sides epitomize the importance of MLS Next for me, AJ. It's impossible for one team, one organization with a few age groups to capture all the amazing talent in the Miami area, but the ability for both of these teams to work in collaboration in terms of cultivating, training, and helping the youth in that area succeed, it just elevates the level. Whether there was Weston or Inter Miami, you know it's a high level.
Always competitive matchups. That clearance off the foot of Lucas Robbins out for a goal kick. That 2021 title for Weston under head coach Chris Nurse, a thrilling 3-2 victory over Tampa Bay United. Weston was up 3-0 in that half, had to hold on by the time it was over. Nicholas Weinberg had the opener 6 minutes in. That was when Kromoski got the golden ball as the tournament MVP. Chris Nurse working to win yet another title, just on different sides. Weston to the attacking third, losing possession as Jacob Hines was making his way forward. Long clearance from Simeone. No foul called there that time. As Naj Desravins did well on the ball there. Desravins played high school soccer at Calvary Christian, noted high school power in South Florida. And some U.S. soccer U17 ID camps now. Got Shaw, Robbins, and Desravins in the midfield today for Inter Miami. That distribution too far ahead of Chaz Williams, who's getting the start along the left side today. Arturo Corrales will come off the bench today. He's Inter Miami's second leading scorer with 19 goals this season, scored in the quarterfinals as well. He'll be a potential option off the bench today for Chris Nurse, but Williams slides in the starting 11.
And managing players and the minutes that they play, of course, physically, understanding where they are, because a lot of extreme hard work has gone into this. Playing game after game in this heat is not an easy thing whatsoever. I heard a lot of people talking about, oh, well, I mean, they're just teenagers. They can flip the script very easy within 2 days. Yeah, you try it. This is difficult stuff here. The mental fortitude is of the highest order throughout this entire tournament. And for me, that's what I love one of the most about tournaments like these. Teaching the youth how to continue to perform in different conditions, whether it's heat, whether it's rain, whether it's pitch, or excuse me, whether it's grass or turf. You see these players, they don't complain whatsoever. They adjust on the fly, and that's what aspiring professional athletes are trained to do the best. Whatever environment you're put in, you can adapt. You don't worry too much about it. You look forward, and like we talked about in the Open, trust in the process.
Well, all this Inter Miami team has to do is look to their first team counterparts, right? And you see the only 3 days that they're getting in between matches at the Club World Cup. Inter Miami, of course, getting set to square off against Palmeiras tomorrow after a thrilling win against FC Porto the other day off another magical Messi free kick. Never gets old.
Yeah, you read my, it never gets old. And the level never seems to drop. We'll talk about Inter Miami and their first team at large. Of course, it's been a dazzling spectacle to watch them week in and week out ever since Messi showed up to South Beach, but just him as an individual, my goodness, whether it's free kicks, facilitation, his work ethic, to show up early to the facility, still set the example, still, and do things at an extremely high level. Don't think we'll ever see it replicated again.
Just trying to not take it for granted right now, I think all of us. Ortella, good cross to the near side. Goes harmlessly out of play of the in. Ortella trying to make things happen. I think that did take a touch, though. Will be a corner kick.
Yeah, this is Miami's probably best progression up the right-hand side. Just getting toward the end line and putting in good floated service so that Weston has to cover the back post. The goalkeeper's trying to swat at it, but they get their first corner kick on the afternoon.
Robbins will take it for Miami. Robbins, good service, headed first at the 6 by Weston as it trickles towards the far side. This will be covered by Clermont, Cantalapierre, excuse me, who had it taken away. Orchidi, good defense. Shaw gave it right back, though. Out of play for a Weston throw. You're talking about Messi, and so Air Miami's brand, obviously as global as anyone's in MLS, despite just being in the league for 5 years. Obviously, that's what having Beckham and Messi at the controls will do. I'll tell you what, though, their owner, Jorge Mas, he's not resting on any laurels here, continuing to pursue the next step. Right now, that's defined as finishing up the work at Freedom Park, which will be their stadium. It's coming along very nicely. Looks like it might even be ready in time for next season's play.
Yeah, and it's what they've needed to continue to forge yourself into, you know, the history books and those organizations that are setting the standards in MLS now. A new stadium in a good part of the city is required, as well as a top training facility.
The renderings look fabulous as Weston clears this back out to midfield. And there are notable names to come through Inter Miami before all the Barcelona gang arrived. Higuain, Matuidi, Pizarro, the commitment was there from the start, but obviously, I mean, things are just at a different level now. And that was immediately rewarded with the supporter shield last year. That one got through. Looks like that might have been a foul. No whistle blown. Weston's back four rising up there.
Yeah, but what a ball in the pocket there from John. Skips through and ends up getting to the number 9, and it's not easy to thread balls through like that because you're going through the heart of Weston's central defense there. Excellent stuff. If they can continue to play more penetrating passes like that, they can open up this Weston side.
Morrison taps it central. Cantalapierre angling near side. Gonna send this towards the 6. Simeon rising. Had it handled in the end as Weston trying to generate some more attacking moments. Simeon had to be sharp, but whistle blew anyway.
Yeah, this is the second time Simeon has caught contact here, but this is a very good ball. Just looking to allow the two strikers to run in on it. The reason why it's a good ball is because Simeon has to make a decision within a split second to come forward. If he hesitates just a little bit, it'll be a graze header to hit the back of the net. Weston, for me, has been the better side because they've been more aggressive. They've been more cohesive in their defensive units, but then when they get into the attacking third and closer to the goal, they seem to have better ideas in terms of how they can manufacture goal-scoring opportunities.
Simeon in goal for Inter Miami. He's been part of the academy since things got started. 5 years now. He's been a part of a lot of big matches in his academy careers. Played Valencia, Real Madrid, among others. Attended trials with some European clubs as well. Miami just outside the box here, pushes it to the far side. Ortella. Somehow that stayed in play. It'll be Inter Miami throw. Ortella's been active along that right flank. Good turn here from Cortez. Once again, Weston's defense up to the task. Jacob Hines there at that time. Acceleration from Quinton John here, advancing it forward. Williams just slipped on the pitch. We've seen that a couple times today from different players, more so in the earlier game. Cost Cedar Stars Bergen a goal on a slip from their left back.
Yeah, and this is the first time that the stadium pitch here has been able to be used since the earlier stages of the tournament. It's waterlogged for a little bit, and now, you know, as the sun has been able to beat down on it for days on end, it's dried up, but it'll still be a factor in this match. If players are down there wearing firm grounds and not soft, there's still the probability of slipping.
Nearly a quarter of the way through this match, Julio. What's your read on things so far? What are you seeing on the pitch?
Yeah, chippy, cagey.
Yeah.
Very competitive, and that's what you would expect in the early stages of a championship match like this, and especially a match of two sides that know each other very well. Until the game lulls off, it's going to continue to be this gridlock chess match, and what typically unlocks that is either a set piece or moments of brilliance.
Yesterday against Colorado for Inter Miami, Betancourt in the 30th minute, Cortez in the 85th, the two goal scorers. That was a wild finish. 2 goals in the final 10 minutes for either side to send that to the shootout. Out of play for an Inter Miami corner. Their second of the match.
As Miami walks to take this corner kick, I think it makes a lot of sense, because taking the sting out of the game when the other side in Weston has been very competitive and reliant on their intensity is a smart way to go, and set pieces can unlock a very difficult defense.
And good service on the last one. Similar area here, handled immediately by Saravetti. Williams will jog over for the throw. Williams behind the air towards the box. Trying to turn. A lot of traffic in there. Weston deals with the clearance. 6 goals in 4 matches here in the tournament run for Inter Miami. Bit of a contrast from the offensive dominance we saw in the game prior to this from LA Galaxy over the course of their U19 run. They try to find Betancourt again. Betancourt's just trying to get as deep as he can with his back to goal and look to get a turn towards the net. Daniel Betancourt, who's played mostly with the U17s this year, but did move up with the U18s for the GA Cup. He's a physical presence at the 9. Still just 2 combined shots, one for either side here through nearly 24 minutes. Miami's was 35 yards out. Weston's off a free kick. Good interplay from the midfield.
Well done.
Lucas Cortez on the far side now. 1v1. Cortez towards the touchline. That's covered well. Now back to goal. Tapped away. Good individual defending by Eduardo Ashayo. And that will lead us to our first hydration break. So 25 minutes in, Weston in Miami, the South Florida Derby in the U17 MLS Next Cup Championship. Back after this in a moment.
You ready? MLS is game on. Dochi? On. Stars on.
Kevin Sullivan, the history maker.
30,000 friends? On. Rivalries on.
Versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
Hot and humid conditions on this Sunday morning still, Central Time. Weston and Inter Miami, they're used to this though. Nothing different. The current situation in South Florida. AJ Ricketts, Jaleel Anababa. Pleasure to have you alongside us this entire week. Things got going June 14th. These teams have had the right stuff to get to this moment here, Championship Sunday. It's been a really fun week all throughout each age group, this culmination of an MLS next season. A lot of big moments 2 months ago, the GA Cup. All these teams and roster, these players are well aware things might be different in a few months. Roster turnover, who's going up, who's staying, who might get cut even. And so the real sense of urgency to make the most of this opportunity together as they progress through the system, and a chance to lift a trophy here today as well. That's certainly more prevalent at the U19 level. U17 starting to get there, decisions being made. Who might be going to next pro soon? College is only a year or two off for some.
And a quick tactical change here. Ortella switching over to the left, Ukidi coming over to the right-hand side. And we'll see how that plays out, because Weston did a very good job to neutralize Ortella when he advanced forward.
Looking for Betancourt right out of the break. Just tried to guide it any sort of way towards the post off a defender, and he does earn the third corner kick of the match for Inter Miami.
Yeah, Miami has had a lot of corner kicks here, unable to capitalize, because you'll see how Weston is very organized. They rely on a mix of a zone and man marking, so that way the more dangerous Inter Miami players are allocated for from a man marking standpoint, and then the more aggressive Weston defenders have the freedom. Here you can see them lined up, 2 on the end line and then 2 on the 6-yard box to be able to attack the ball when it drops in the spaces. That's why they've been so excellent so far defending those set pieces.
This one well off the frame of goal and sails over the bar. Jaleel, how difficult of a concept is that to execute versus straight man marking or zone defending itself?
That's the best way that I like to defend set pieces. I find at times if you go straight man-to-man and you have an attacker that's very good at either rolling off of a screen or just breaking free individually, sometimes those gaps aren't allocated for. And then on the flip side, if you go straight zone, all the service needs is to be able to just drop in between players and with aggressive attacking on the ball as far as running is concerned. So I like a mix between the two.
Weston looks cohesive defensively today.
Yeah, they really do. And it's gotten them to this point in time, 0-0. There hasn't been too many goal-scoring opportunities on either side of the line that have been clear. And again, what typically will offset a really cagey match like this is a set piece or a moment of brilliance here. We haven't quite seen anything that shows us through the run of play that we should rely on a moment of brilliance. But when minds continue to get warier and warier as the game gets more progressed, that's typically what comes up. Whoever's mental fortitude is a little bit stronger, AJ, to push through the heat, push through the more difficult stages of the game as it lulls off, is typically who's able to find a moment to unlock a very cagey game.
Keep in mind, Dash Jalil reference, Miami switching their left and right backs. Working to the right side. Jim Moratella now at that left back spot. Servite right in front of the Miami bench, sliding to keep it in play as Quentin John tracks it down towards the corner. Tried to clear, took a bounce. Cantalapierre couldn't keep it in. Be a goal kick here for Inter Miami. We've obviously mentioned Kremoski. He's the headliner in terms of Weston FC alumni, but their alumni list, well, who's who of South Florida soccer talent, particularly in the Inter Miami system. Noah Allen, defender, signed a homegrown contract with Inter Miami. George Acosta, Ian Frey's playing in the Club World Cup right now, getting meaningful minutes. And a lot of next pro and collegiate representation as well.
It's great to see Ian Frey healthy and flourishing. He's one of the top young talents in that Inter Miami first team side. And, you know, when he's playing at a very high level, it just makes you very happy about what the future can continue to be for Inter Miami. This will be a foul here.
And a card as well. There were kind of two moments there. Cortez getting physical. The initial hold was Jacob Hines able to charge through that. Been taken down momentarily.
Yeah, it's persistent dribbling from Jacob Hines. And, you know, just a little trash talk to say, look, you can't, the only way you can drag me down is to foul me here. And more moments like that for Weston, being able to carry the ball out of the midfield and look to advance, is how they're going to be able to unlock this game. Very well done from Hines. And, of course, to draw not only a free kick, but a yellow card on the other side. It's very well done from Weston.
Sloan Morrison will take the free kick, one of the highest rated fullbacks in the U17s during this past regular season. Morrison's service is low, right to Inter Miami. Now Cortez. Miami gets it back. It looked like Robbins wanted to release there for a moment. Possession will stay with Weston. 33rd minute, no score, just two combined shots. Converging on Claremont there. Inter Miami might have something on here. Ortella, who just switched to that near side. That moment extinguished. And now Weston, maybe the match opening up just a little bit here. Alessandro Claremont, second on the team in goal scoring this year. Claremont cuts inside, dances by a defender, ships it 10 yards out. Now Hines, but the flag was up. A little more confidence on the ball from Weston there, but mistiming a run.
This is the type of game and final that soccer purists will enjoy, because you have to work and earn your right to play in an open game, and that typically isn't what you see in a final in the earlier stages here. We're in the 35th minute, and this is in and around the time where you expect the game to open up. When you have the experience to have played in games like this, or coached in games like this, or been a diehard fan in fixture similar to this one, you understand that it's typically locked early on in the game, and then where soccer becomes very beautiful is getting yourself or your team into the parts of the game where you can rely on that dazzling football as the game opens up, but we aren't quite there yet.
It's about 10 minutes to go till we reach the half as Weston has some space to work with here. That's how to play. Correct me if I'm wrong, Julia. I think that 2017 season you were with Houston was the most extended playoff run to the Western Conference Final. What do you remember about those postseason moments and how you had to grow into that match, kind of like you were just talking about here? Was it dicey, cagey in those early moments too?
Yeah, it depended on the fixture in that playoff run, but yeah, that's typically what you expect. You dive all the way into your preparation the week leading up to the game because you know that every single matchup is going to be competitive. Players are very confident. Players have had a full season of typically good form to get to the final, and that's what we're seeing here is that, you know, you don't see any players that are looking very jittery or, you know, you can't really understand what other side, excuse me, you can't understand what the teams are trying to do here. But it hasn't been able to reign through in terms of free-flowing football because of the competitive nature.
The element of familiarity is ever present between these two. This is a good run from Hines. Good ball in, just a tad too heavy on the touch. Simeon there in the right spot. Good service by Hines.
Yeah, Hines is perking up in this match in the last 5 or so minutes, showing that he wants to affect the game from a deep lying position. But Simeon has been excellent up to this point in time, not hesitating to come off his line, making some of these plays that can be precarious if you hesitate look very easy. Challenged him at the top of the broadcast to be a standout player for Miami, and he has been so far.
Categoría committing the foul in the circle. Third foul for Weston here in the first half. 7 combined between the two teams, and of course that yellow card from Cortez in the 32nd minute. And there might be a final warning of sorts as well. Cortez taking the brunt of it that time. Here's Ortella. Chaz Williams.
Oh.
Couldn't complete the move by his defender. Help defense was there. Ortella trying to win possession back. They're suffocating, defending there by the touchline. Will be a throw for Miami. Mirko Gubelini there for Weston. Has to be content with what he's seen in the first half from his side. Although admittedly, both clubs a little bit in neutral here, but most likely okay with that. We see more aggressive moments in the waning stages of this first half. Good individual battle here. And now, Consani is looking to guide it to Claremont. Cortez winds up with it outside the circle. Good first turn. Through ball will wind up with Daniel Villegas. Good cross. Miami operating in a defensive shape with just about everybody behind the ball. Cantalapiera operating down the touchline. 1v1 moment here, guided it to the 6, dealt with by Quentin John. Robbins ended up heading it right back to Weston. Some good balls from the back line here of Weston. Tapped inside the box, giving it right back, unleashing a shot, deflected away. Simeon, instinctive save.
Yeah, Weston is definitely perking up here.
Still attacking from the outside. It'll be a throw. Cheers from both sides.
Yeah, this is a good sequence here. Diagonal ball just to bump it on. Get down the end line. Nope, we're going to play that little 1-2. And again, we've talked about Simeon being up for everything that is thrown his way. Yes, the strike is not tucked into the corner, but he makes an instinctive foot save there. If he elects to try to go down with his right paw, ball could probably find itself in the back of the net as we get into yet another water break, which is definitely vital for the players down there on the pitch.
And Quentin John may need some medical assistance as well. What a beautiful sequence between Noah Gassan and Thiago Consani. It's Consani who put the first shot on goal there for Weston today. Simeon had to be sharp. Very easily could be 1-0 Weston.
Yeah, definitely.
Might have been Chaz Williams actually needed a moment near the Inter Miami bench. Serving as an unofficial break of sorts. The heat here.
And just the ability to get some water and some Moss Plus will come at a good time for Inter Miami, because Weston was showing more positive actions on the ball, getting numbers in and around the attacking third, but also doing it with patience. That last sequence there was the best sequence that they've had in the first half, linking numbers up, keeping Inter Miami on their heels. For me, Weston has played a more complete half than Inter Miami at this point in time here, but it's been difficult to get through the likes of John here, as we're seeing the captain and company. They've been up for protecting the goalkeeper and Simeon. Simeon has come up with big saves when needed. Definitely been the type of final that you would expect between these two, AJ. Not much to split them.
What do you think halftime discussions may revolve around for Chris Nurse in this Miami side?
Well, I know Chris Nurse is telling his side we got to get to halftime first, sure. And then if they...
Miami's going to make a substitute here. Maximo Armando.
Number 33, Chaz Williams.
Williams, who was the one who went down, unable to continue. So first half substitute for the Herons. Wookity clears. Weston fouls, Betancourt taken down.
Yeah, that's good hold-up play from Betancourt there. As his side has been under a lot of pressure, that's what a good 9 does. They're able to hold up the play, allow the midfielders and the defense to advance higher up the field, but most importantly, draw a foul, which can take the sting out of the game and the momentum out of the favor of Weston. Very well done from Betancourt.
Trying to locate Wookity, who's played for Miami's U13s previously. And Wookity and Ortella switched spots earlier in this match. And now Armando operating at the right back spot. And it's Ortella who's playing up front for Inter Miami after the switch. Betancourt has been playing with his back to goal for much of this first half. Any time that he's targeted. Weston's been able to hold him in check, has gotten deep in the box on a couple of moments, but never any clean touches for him to operate with. Again, they target him. Immediately sent towards the gates. Look at Betancourt right there. 26 goals on the season. He was Inter Miami's Player of the Month in December. Would he create a moment for Pink and Black today? And that you can hear in the background. The lightning is in the area, which is a little eye-opening with the sunny skies that are surrounding us from our purview. Oh, it's a repeat of how this tournament got started. And so that'll send us to the field house for at least half an hour. You know the lightning protocols. We're familiar with them by now.
Yeah, at this point in time, with the match being level, players having to take shelter for 30 minutes, the mentality is going to continue to be of the premium for the two sides here, AJ.
All right, lightning delay here in Murfreesboro. Hopefully a quick one. So again, it doesn't look like there's prevalent storms around the area. We'll deal with that as it goes. All right, no score here just before the half. Lightning delay will keep you updated for the MLS Next Cup U17 final. Weston FC Inter Miami. we welcome you back to the Siegel Complex. That's the horn we want to hear. Lightning delay is complete. I think the players are confused for a second. Should hear another horn. There it is. That is the all clear. Thanks for hanging with us on the MLS YouTube channel. AJ Ricketts, Jaleel Anababa. Not too lengthy a lightning delay, all things considered, particularly in comparison to the early stages of this tournament. Got through that one, and we continue on. A little bit disjointed, of course. We'll play a couple more minutes here, 4 minutes of stoppage time, have a condensed halftime of 10 minutes, and then get back on the pitch here in the second half. No score, just 3 combined shots between the two sides who are looking to grow into the match offensively here. You wonder how that recent delay may change the verve of it moving forward. Play down the field. Daniel Betancourt has been a consistent target, but unable to generate much. He taps that left side to Urquidi.
We talked about the mental fortitude of the players, AJ. That is going to be of a premium when you have to take a 30-minute rain delay in the middle of the half and get yourselves right back into the game. Not easy from a mentality standpoint, but you would like to think the reason why both of these sides have gotten to the final is because their mental fortitude is of the absolute highest order.
We had one substitute in that first half, which was right before the lightning delay. Just a reminder, Maximo Armando came in for Chaz Williams, who started along the front. That's moved Jeremy Ortella to the flank. Betancourt, 2 defenders on him. Earns a corner kick for Miami.
And we've seen that from Betancourt throughout the course of the first half. Hold up play, drawing 1 or 2 defenders, and then being able to get a corner kick for his side. Can Miami convert?
Fourth corner kick of the match for Inter Miami. Served to the near side, handled in net by Villegas as Weston deals with that set piece. Miami's only been able to generate 1 shot this afternoon. Just a couple more minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. Weston had the best, most clear-cut chance in this first half. Thiago Consani nearly putting one in the back of the net, forced a fabulous save from Marco Simeon. Other than that, real opportunities have been few and far between for these South Florida sides, squaring off in this U17 championship. Long ball to Ortella. Cantala Piera cuts inward. Fouled. Marco Cantala Piera, 3rd most goals in the regular season for Weston. He's being called up to Puerto Rico's U17s. And to look at Consani, who nearly had the breakthrough.
Cantala Piera has been very clean on the ball, silky when he needs to, be able to draw a few defenders, slip a pass into one of his fellow teammates and look for the combinations. For me, if Weston is going to find a breakthrough through facilitation and creativity, it'll most likely come through him.
Quentin John booted that back to the other side of the pitch. Ortella shielded from the ball by Ricardo Silva. Talented, very physical right back. Seconds left here in this first half. McLean will tap it to the right side. Armando. Third pass in that sequence, a little bit behind him, forced him to stop his run. Out for an Inter Miami throw.
Weston is up for the fight, that's for sure.
Miami has been unable to figure out this defense. have yet to unlock it, and that whistle will signify the end of the half. Again, they're going to condense this from 15 down to 10 minutes, so a shorter halftime break after the lightning delay. Both teams, both clubs, things to figure out here in the second half. We're through 45 minutes of play. Inter Miami, Weston FC, U17 final, no score.
You ready? MLS is game on. Dolce? On. Stars on.
Kevin Sullivan, the history maker.
30,000 friends? On. Rivalries on.
New York versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
Well, Philadelphia have had no shortage of talent come from their academy in recent years. It looks like that theme will simply continue on. They're youth champions of the U15s after a dominating 3-0 win against Atlanta United. AJ Ricketts, Kalen Carr, Philly, impressive from the opening moments here, getting on the scoreboard.
Yeah, lovely start here from Gallego, and then it bounces around the box, but it's clever footwork from the number 9 position. Gabalajobi stays compact, puts it towards that near post. It's a fantastic finish and puts Philadelphia Union up, and from there, the pressure there, it's a giveaway in the midfield, and well won there from Sam Gallego. He ends up getting this back and senses where the space is, cutting in, shifts it from left to right, and how about that? The off foot going towards that far post there to give Philadelphia Union a 2-0 advantage.
Scored in the semis, scores in the final. Gallego having himself a tournament, but Gabalajobi wasn't done. The U.S. Youth International, his team already up 2-0 in the dying moments, decided, I'll put one more on the scoreboard.
Yeah, he's just alert. He understands where the space is. He's opportunistic, and when he gets his chance to add the cherry on top, he does. 3-0 for the Union.
What a final this was. Real Salt Lake, the first ever team to double up the GA Cup and MLS Next Cup in the same season. It wasn't easy for them.
No, it wasn't easy at all. But, you know, when you can pull tricks out of your hat just like this, surveying the field, Hashimoto does a very good job. That bump back to the goal scorer is excellent stuff here. But you have to understand how poised you have to be. Oftentimes your eyes get bigger than 2 trucks coming down the highway when the ball rolls back to you like that. That's excellent finishing at the back post.
Atlanta, though, would not go down. Christian Williams came right into the game. His first touch is the equalizer.
Yeah, Williams just lurking on the back post, capitalizes on a mistake, and makes this game level. And Atlanta had all the wind in their sails after this equalizer here. Excellent stuff, and you can see the support from the younger age group.
Atlanta nearly had themselves a winner late on here through Alvarez.
Yeah, this is good stuff here. Alvarez just unable to swing his hips around it. He goes low and hard near post. You're going to have more joy there. But look at how much yellow converges around the potential goal-scoring opportunity.
And then Royce Mihov from Rylan Hashimoto to win it for RSL in the 89th minute.
Yeah, the service there comes right on the 6-yard box where it's difficult to be first to it. Mihov says, it's going to be me, and we're the champions for a reason.
What a final it was. The U19s, the LA Galaxy lift another trophy. This U17 group last year that won it all come right back in the U19s to take down Cedar Stars, and it was this costly outside-the-box handball by Nicholas Bazama that put Cedar Stars behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, and the Galaxy had been playing out of pressure, building short passes, but elect to go long here, and you could just see the slip there from Bazama. It's really unlucky. His feet just come out from underneath him, reaches back instinctively. It's the right decision, of course, with a red card, and the Galaxy do the right thing, coming down this left-hand side, up a man. Dylan Vanny finds Preston on the far side, and they needed that second runner in the box. Carson Sagely makes that near post run, draws attention, and Christian Correa steps up with an important header.
It was 1-0 to the Galaxy at halftime. They pushed and pushed throughout the second half. Dylan Vanny, their star man, puts the second one home.
Yeah, and Hartley was able to get in more advanced position. It's a lovely ball in behind, and the recognition to be in that pocket, but to stretch and then cut back across to put it on his right foot. It's a cool finish from Dylan Vanny, an important one.
Cedar Stars was not done. We've seen them rescue results all week long. Amadou Hahn made it 2-1 late.
Yeah, Amadou Hahn has been the lifeline, the emergency safety valve. He's a one-man pressure machine here, and it's a really clever finish to roll it and then pick out that near post. And right now you're saying, oh no, is this gonna happen again? They had to fight their way back get into the final in the dying minutes, but then it's another slip and a costly one building out from pressure from Cedar Stars. And Kayana steps up and tucks it in for Galaxy, a 3-1 win.
The Galaxy, U19 MLS Next Cup champions.
This summer, the center of the soccer world is right here. The world's best, the world's game, all in your backyard. 4 major moments. One summer like no other. Learn more at mlssoccer.com/summer.
Yeah, I know I'm fully attractive. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. It's a jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
Lionel Messi, who else? The youngest MLS debutant, Kevin Sullivan. Luna. Yes! That is a banger! Absolute scorcher! Spectacular save from Dane St. Clair.
Welcome back to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The elements, the weather, the lightning, well, it's forcing the conclusion of this Weston FC Inter Miami match to the indoor facility right next to Field 11 there. You see it on the screen. The rest of this match will take place in the field house to determine who will be the U17 champion. We've already crowned 3 champions over the course of the last 2 days. Philadelphia Union showing the depth of their academy in a 3-0 win over Atlanta United. Real Salt Lake 2-1 over Atlanta as well in the U16s. And the 19s, LA Galaxy capping their dominant tournament run with a 3-1 win this morning themselves. What a week it's been here in Tennessee. Jalil Anababa, AJ Ricketts. Unfortunate that we can't conclude this one here on this field. I have to move inside. But over the course of the past 9 or 10 days, when you see the talents, the future, the pipeline, what are your impressions from this week in Murfreesboro?
Yeah, just that the future is bright. That's what I'm always thinking about whenever we have these tournaments, whether it's GA Cup, playoffs, Fest, it doesn't matter. But the talent is of an extremely high level. And you can see here, the youth are not only competing with the best of the best in North America, but they're competing with the best of the best around the world in their age set.
And we've seen that at GA Cup a few months ago, all those international competitions. We see the talent here. A lot of them are going to be on MLS fields very soon. We got a glimpse of that here in Murfreesboro this week. We thank you so much for joining us throughout the course of it here at the MLS Next Cup. A big thanks to our entire production team. Fantastic job all week long, braving the elements, the delays. Our production crew has been fantastic over the course of this, as we say. Thank you for joining us in Murfreesboro. This copyrighted broadcast, the 2025 MLS Next Cup, may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer and Player Development, LLC. Thanks for joining us at the MLS Next Cup.